Here's the secret to how I make so much money, right? I study counties when they do their tax assessment. So every year or a couple of years, counties reassess properties and they reassess the value of the properties, right? So that's how your taxes go up and down. Counties reassess and say, oh, no. Oh, these brownstones went up. Your taxes are now going to go up. So with land, like for an acre, let's just say real scenario, Wayne County, Pennsylvania. I got a note that they did their tax reassessment. So all the properties that cost $600 that were worth $4,000 are now worth $16,000 and $20,000. I went crazy, right? So I'll go to the auction, right? I ain't tell nobody. I told maybe, I just put a quick text the day before to the LANDBANK team. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna shoot to this auction in Pennsylvania. Here's what it looked like. 20 people came, right? That's in-house. That's family.
Right.
So we show up at the auction. You know, I got a bag full of money, but I didn't know exactly how much I was gonna buy. I didn't know. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it on. I knew it was real, but I was like, this is too good, bro. Like, these numbers are sick. So I'm in the auction. It's like 12 people, and then it's us. We deep, right? So you know us, right? The girls is dressed up. They decked out, heels, makeup, everything. And I'm walking in, and always super casual, like a t-shirt, some jeans, whatever. Like, I don't care what I wear. I don't care. It don't matter to me. I'll go wear the same t-shirt for 3 days, so I don't care. Right? I just don't care. So we in there, and they like, yo, who's that guy? So we start in the auction, and they ringing off price, 600 properties. They running the properties off, and I'm talking to my assistant. I'm like, nobody's buying these? She's like, I'm like, all right, where's our page? So she turned to the page, and she's like, all right, we want this. She's pointing them out. And I just started winning them like crazy. So I got 13 properties, all valued $20,000 or more. My net worth increased in one day, $260,000.
Dang.
I happen to be doing an application for a new spot. Right? I ain't gonna say the state, right? A vacation spot, right? And yo, they asked me net worth. I was like, yo, I just grew $250,000. I was like, oh, that's easy. I started putting down like all the properties, and I'm like, this is the fastest way, the easiest way, the least competitive way to like make money. Is safe because it's land. It can't disappear, right? Nobody can steal it. You can buy them in a day based on what auctions you go to. And like, it's just not risky. There's very little risk associated with it.
Charles, I see you and your mentees, y'all outside, y'all in the field, y'all walking around different, looking at different lands, y'all in the auctions and things like that. Which one of your mentees are like, can you give us like a mentee testimony story? Like, which one of them turned up from LANDBANKs?
Yo, that's a great question. Yo, my mentees be lying to me, bro. The mentees be lying. So look, I did 2 challenges recently. I did one, Deeds Under Trees, which the concept was, instead of buying gifts for your kids like toys and sneakers and stuff, buy them land and houses and give those under trees instead. So our net worth and generational wealth could get bigger, could start to build up.
Yeah.
So the concept was, we want everybody to win. It was like 300-400 people, right? They all bought one property, which I made sure, because I want everybody to be successful. So I'm like, everybody buy. So everybody bought, right? Then after the challenge, there's like an extra level of support. So when I'm doing the extra level of support, they're like, oh yeah, so I got 8 properties. So I got 9 properties. I'm like, wait, the challenge just ended 2 days ago. How you went from 1 to 8? And they be like, well, some people be like, they won properties by accident. I'll be like, how?
Damn.
But so after that, we did the Buy the Block initiative. And that challenge, that was a 5-day challenge we did, where we wanted them to buy collectively next to each other. Like, we just bonded as a family in the 5-day challenge, and we strategically seeked out properties to own so we could start to own like communities together. That same concept was one at it, like get one, and then we're going to teach them how to build in like an extra support session called Dirt to Development, where we take them from having the dirt all the way to development. Man, we got somebody named Candace. She got 2 houses and 13 pieces of land, all from a 5-day challenge. And I had to pull that out of her. I'm like, how many houses you got? And somebody was like, Charles, you being funny. I'm like, how many houses you got? She was like, 2. No, she said just 2. Yeah. And I said, how many pieces of land you got? She said 13. I was like, so you got 15 properties? She was like, yeah. Like, she was like, yeah, what's wrong with that? And I'm like, damn, that's kind of crazy.
That's wild. That's wild. So yeah.
From what I know, one person got 15 properties.
15 properties.
Yes. Her name is Dr. Candace.
God damn. That's
so we hear more too. Like I know there's a lot with 12, 13, 14. Because once you know the auction sites, you can easily buy them. And then I'm kind of in with some of the people at the land bank. So if I refer you to a land bank that might have 1,800 properties, I could say sort it by parcel number, right? That's like the property social security number, like that they identify property with. So I say sort it by that number. That's going to give you all the properties that they have on the same street. They're giving them in sequential order. So you could pick 6, 7 properties out, call the land bank, right, and say, hey, I'm on the land bank team. Charles says hi. I'd like to know if I could get these 6 properties, these 4 properties. And you could actually buy a block like that. Wow. So it's not uncommon, but they don't, because I be want everybody to have them. I'll be telling people like, don't go too crazy because I want you to develop them. I want you to cash flow them. I want you to have an exit strategy. Now, if you buy 7 and you say you're going to sell them, and I see them listed on Facebook, Craigslist, land.com, unsoldland.org, and I see them, I'm like, I like what you're doing. But if you're trying to develop 10 properties at one time, it's going to be hard because to build might be like 160, 170,000. So unless you got 1.7 million, which I know some of them don't, I'll be like, just slow down because you got to pay taxes on those properties too.
Right. Yeah, I remember the cards to it.
Yeah, it's. I try to simplify it. So every cohort, like to buy a house and renovate, I got a workbook, a 10-step workbook that lays all the steps out and all the resources you need. For land, to buy and sell land, I got a workbook, like how to research it, how to look it up, how to sort what you want, how to buy, how to sell, how to list. Everything is like in there. And then, yeah, man, those are some of the programs.
That's really dope. But I just want to ask one last thing too, because out here in New York, we got a lot of a lot of tenant nightmare stories.
Yeah.
So how does investing in land banks? How do you protect your cash flow, and how do you stay away from crazy tenants, like people squatting in your house, all type of craziness?
Oh, that's crazy. So look, the land bank team, we got yeah, that's crazy. You brought that up, bro. And New York City real estate, you could get shot, stabbed, or killed as a landlord or a tenant, right? It'd be crazy, right or wrong. You read, we hear it every day. It's getting more and more crazy. Like they setting apartments on fire, they clogging the toilets before they leave. New York City real estate is absolutely crazy. Don't do it. It's a tenant-friendly state. Stay away from New York City real estate. It's horrible. Here's what I do. So most of my investments are out of state. I still own properties like in the Bronx, like 2-3 family homes. But for the most part, my recent investments are in landlord-friendly states. So I'll do that research to find out. And I've gone as far as going to sit inside landlord-tenant court. In the Midwest, for the most part, they be like, are you paying or are you leaving? And that's it. And for the tenant. So if I take you to court as a tenant, and you backed up 4 months in your rent, they're going to be like, Mr. Brown, are you paying or are you leaving? Which one is it? If you got the money, like, pay that man. If not, all right, you leaving, you got 21 days. That's the type of research, though. Like, I made it easy for people to do, But I had to go do that homework. I had to go sit in court. I had to go find out where's the courthouse at, and I had to watch. I had to do research. Facebook groups will tell you a lot. You can go in there for real estate investment groups, and you can ask how's the landlord court? Has anybody had trouble getting a tenant out? Do any people have trouble renting to tenants? Because sometimes you might go in the wrong place and build this property and nobody rents it, and it just sits there. So yeah, man, you got to just do your homework. It's all about doing homework and research.
That's the best part about investing out in New York. You don't got to deal with some of that.
Yeah, so the right management company will help you. Here, I'll give 3 ways to protect your property, your rental property, or your investment out of state. Use a management company, right? That takes your personal feelings out of it. It's not you asking questions. You don't even get to know them. So you don't see the single person with the kid who really needs a place to stay. It stays about business because you're not asking those questions. You only asking qualifying questions. You qualify, you in. And these are qualifying questions that will probably make the person a good tenant. There's no guarantee. Doctors lose their jobs and don't pay. Lawyers, nurses, engineers. It all happens, right? So there's no one way, but your screening process is huge, and you want to take yourself out of it because naturally, right, we're empathetic to people. We're in position now to rent, so it's like we want to bless somebody. But if you could take that out of it and you just rent to the best possible tenant that applied, your chances of not having turnover and default are a lot higher. The second thing you want to do to protect your investment as a real estate investor, you want to spend extra money in getting warranties for your roof, your electrical, and your plumbing. So when a tenant calls you, you don't have to go do that work. You don't got to call your management company where they're going to charge you to go do the work. You're going to call the company that installed the brand new plumbing and say, hey, I know this is under warranty. The tenant has an issue. Could you go fix it? It doesn't cost you anything. It's easy to do. And they usually, being that they warranty the work, they're going to fix it the right way so they don't have to keep coming out. So being a good landlord, having a really good screening process. And the third thing I'm going to tell you, always use your gut. Your gut never lies. Red flags do not turn green. So if you're supposed to meet with a tenant at 8 o'clock, they hit you with 5 excuses and they show up at 9, that's a red flag, right? They should be presenting themselves a certain way, being that they're going to come rent the spot from you, right? If they're not presenting themselves well, that's a red flag. That they're not taking care of themselves, they're probably not going to take care of your property. They're not showing up on time, they're probably not going to pay the rent on time. Those are things that, yeah, you go there, you see that single mother, baby crying, snotty nose, whatever, and you want to give her a chance. Those red flags are not going to turn green.